We are coming back to you live from the Bryn Giao Convention Center from San Fernando, Pampanga, as we give you your third game of your Monday triple header here in the OKBet 2022 Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And we feature your Quezon City MG Cars led by Levy de la Cruz, who has been producing great numbers this season. 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists per ball game. Going up against that guy, Kyle Tolentino, one of the youngest players here in the Mpbl. He had 23 points in the previous game para sa Marikina. The Shoemasters going up against your Quezon City MG Cars. 1-5 versus 1-3 so far in our Mpbl season. We're glad to have you with us. Mixed comments at your service alongside Javi Palanya. Javi, isang panalo pa lang para sa QC at para sa Marikina. How hungry do you think they are for this win tonight?
Oh, definitely very hungry, Mix. Both teams at the bottom of the standings in their division right now. And itong QC had a chance to have an even better record, kaya lang sinayang nila yung first 2 games sila against Nueva Ecija and Pampanga. Then that Pampanga game they lost in overtime. That was a game for them to lose. Samantalang itong Marikina naman in the middle of a 5-game losing streak.
Well, if you have a 5-game losing streak, gusto mo talagang bumawi, that's for sure. Now, we're gonna have some stories from our courtside reporter na si Mika Abesamis. Mika, kumusta naman dyan?
You know, this is an exciting ball game because both teams have nowhere else to go but up. They both know what they need to do. They both know where they need to be. All we have to do is watch this game and absorb all the excitement. Makes Javi.
That's for sure. Thank you, Mika. We'll get back to you later on. Now, Javi, kailangan makita natin team standings natin. Before we see the North Division, we have to see the South Division standings. Walang ating dalawang koponan dyan, but please break it down for us.
Well, Batangas lording it over right there with an immaculate 6-0 record. Their depth, their defense at the forefront of that attack for them. Pero di nalalayo dyan ang Zamboanga, who is also as deep and as talented as Batangas at top Sarangani, absorbing their first loss last game against one of the league leaders also in Nueva Ecija, which we will see here sa North Division, number 1 at 6-0. Dito yung dalawang kupunan natin, Quezon City and Marikina at the 8th and 10th spot respectively. Now, they really need to rack up the wins right now because as I've reiterated time and time again sa ating mga coverages, even if it's a long season, you don't want to fall behind in terms of the standings. Ayaw mo maghabol ng panalo during the tail end of our season.
And certainly, you're matching up against one team that's also a part of your division. You're gonna want that victory over them. Let's talk about Marikina's previous game. You mentioned Kyle Tolentino as one of the top performers in that one, but it was a loss against Zamboanga.
Well, you see here, Marikina was able to out-rebound Zamboanga 44-38. There were +6 in that department, but the depth of Zamboanga, especially their height advantage and their athleticism, were able to be pounced on in that game by them. 52 points inside the paint compared to just 30. And look at the bench points, 64 compared to 29. That was courtesy highly because of the Marcelino twins who have been producing high numbers for Coach Vic Icasiano dito sa ating season.
Pabatayan natin ang mga numerong yan sa ating laro for Marikina. Now, Javi, how important is this guy for the Shoemasters?
Well, Kyle Tolentino, when you talk about the Marikina Shoemasters, you're thinking Ives Sazon. But this guy, Kyle Tolentino, has emerged as one of the top options offensively para sa kanilang koponan. Had 23 points in their last match. Ang tanong, can he be consistent with this kind of production?
Again, he is still a young player. Ano yan? On loan pa mula sa kolehiyo San Juan de Letran. Now let's talk about Quezon City. In their previous game, we covered this, Javi. Well, it was an onslaught. Mula sa Jensen Warriors, they pulled away in the second half. 31-point loss for QC.
Because anytime you let the team shoot almost 60% from the field, that is really something na kinakatakutan mo. And Quezon City just had no way of getting back into this game because anytime they threatened with a run, Jensen would always have an answer. Gerald Anderson emerged as a player of the game. He hasn't played a lot of matches in this season but was able to churn out a good performance. Fast break points, 38-10. So Quezon City has to do a better job of defending the transition attack ng kanilang mga kalaban dito in order for them to get a better position in the standings.
Well, actually, it was a great game, a great performance individually para kay Levy de la Cruz. Unfortunately, kulang na kulang nga lang talaga.
Yeah, that's right. You know, one player cannot just do it. And for Quezon City, Levy de la Cruz yung kanyang magandang performance has to rub off on all of his other teammates in order for them to get more wins dito sa ating season.
Mpbl de la Cruz, one of the best in terms of assists per game. Actually, he is number 1 at 7 assists per ball game. Let's see how he is gonna fare out against Marikina. Now let's go to our arena announcer, Richard Campos, for our starting lineups.
Maya Babengi, Presidial Convention Center, San Fernando, Pampanga. Welcome for tonight's main game, Marikina versus Quezon City on the OK Bet Manny Pacquiao's MPBL 4th season, presented by Extreme. Let's carry on first the starting 5 for Marikina Shoe Masters OK Bet. Starting at guard number 7, Kyle Tolentino. And forward number 14, Ervin Mendoza. Small forward number 16, Alfred Gayosa. Playing center number 25, J.R. Rapores. And at one guard number 28, G.C. Karurukan. Marikina Shoe Masters OK Bet is led by Marikina City Councilor Elvis Tolentino. Now the starting 5 for Quezon City MG Cars. Coming in at center number 6, Kyle Napes. Starting at guard number 8, Oliver De Guzman. Also at guard number 13, James Martinez. Forward number 30, Jeric Nakpil. And the other forward number 88, Jason Delfinado. Quezon City MG Cars head coach is Alvin Gray. Referees for this ball game are Edmar Abis, Hiram Scott, and Ruben Marandik. Fourth man is Reynaldo Gabriel. This game is under the supervision and regulation of the
Starting lineups for Marikina versus Quezon City: Kyle Tolentino, Gilbert Karurukan, J.R. Flores, Alfred Gayosa, and Ervin Mendoza para sa Shoe Masters. And then it's Oliver De Guzman, James Martinez, Kyle Napes, Jeric Nakpil, and Jason Delfinado for the MG Cars. Again, no home court advantage for today, your third game of your MPBL Monday. We are in Pampanga, but the Giant Lanterns are not playing yet. We are still seeing a sizable crowd here in the Brent Yao Convention Center. Biggs Gomez, Javi Malanya, and Mika Abisamis at your service. As you get to see, the first shot of the ball game mula kay Alfred Gayosa. Nagpintis nga lang. Now, Javi, if you're Quezon City, what are you looking for, especially in this first quarter? Dahil galing nga kayo sa isang 31-point loss.
A good start definitely makes that is what they need here. And I'm very happy to be seeing, I was about to say James Martinez back in the starting lineup for Coach Alvin Gray, but I'm even happier that my former high school teammate Jason Delfinado was the first guy to put on points on the board in this game for Quezon City.
Quezon City currently 1 win, 3 losses. Number 7 in the North Division. Kabila naman for Marikina, Kyle Tolentino and company. They are looking to snap their 5-game losing streak. That's a traveling violation against Jeric Nakpil.
Good stop right there for Quezon City, but Nakpil just couldn't handle the leather. Now for Marikina, this will be quite a tall order going up against Quezon City. Of course, you mentioned both teams very hungry for wins today. But for Marikina, it will be tougher because they will be without Enzo Hoson and Nomer Gonzalez. Two of their top performers. Will be hearing from Mika kung bakit sila wala today.
And speaking of Mika, Javi, we'll hear from him right now.
Right, okay.
Let's go ahead. Mika, go ahead.
You know, I was able to talk to assistant coach Johan Dumlao of Quezon City. He was actually a homegrown coach of Marikina. So kung meron maraming ambag sa scouting, siya daw yun. He knows what Marikina has to offer. Being the strength and conditioning coach of QC, he focused on a lot of running during practice dahil mga batang legs daw ang kanilang kalaban. And yung natanong niyo sa akin kanina, no, just a quick report on Marikina, no Enzo Hoson because of tonsillitis. Migs, have you?
Oh my gosh, that's an unfortunate news for Enzo Hoson. Was actually number 1 in the league, tied with Damien Lasco in terms of scoring, 19.3 points per game. So wherever you are, Enzo, we hope you're doing okay. Recover fast para sa Marikina.
He has been a revelation so far in his time with the Marikina Shoe Masters in this very young season that we've had.
But also, supported by Mika, maganda yung may scouting Quezon City kontra dito sa Marikina Shoe Masters. You never know how your staff can help you out. This time around, a strength and conditioning coach giving most of your scouting report. Napes also getting that starting nod after coming off the bench in their previous game. Mintis ang tira ni Mpbl. Still no points for Marikina. 2-0. 2 minutes gone by. Flores will be fouled.
Oh, I like the pressure that Marikina has been giving QC on the defensive end. Very great denial of the basketball. James Martinez has been having a tough time setting the table para dito sa QC. So has Oliver de Guzman.
Back and forth we have gone. First free throw is a miss from J.R. Flores, a former player of Rizal. Taking his talents to the Marikina Shoe Masters. We have seen a lot of new or familiar faces in new places already in the Mpbl. There's a violation here. Another chance for Flores. Again, they still haven't scored.
Flores started also that previous game against Zamboanga, played 22 minutes in that one, but really wasn't able to contribute anything significantly para kay Coach Elvis Tolentino. So this might be the game that he might just do that.
Well, Flores is capable of scoring in bunches. He also has that outside shot. Let's find out later on if he can contribute very well for Marikina as a miss comes in mula kay Oliver de Guzman. Rebound belongs to the homegrown Ervin Mendoza. Great pressure right there. At may tatawid yan ni Karuruban. They kick it out. There's the outside shooting of Flores right on cue.
Well, when you're a scorer, all you need is just to see the ball go through the basket, and that is exactly what has happened to Flores at the start of this game. Missed his first 2 free throws, but that lane violation giving him 1 extra free throw and gave him the confidence to knock down that 3-point shot.
All of the points of Marikina coming from J.R. Flores. 3 on the shot clock here. Martinez, does he know it? 1 second to go. Turnover yan para sa Quezon City.
Coach Elvis Tolentino, I'm sure, in their game plan, wary of the capabilities of James Martinez as a scorer. But this guy, Flores, strutting his wares in that department early on, giving Marikina a 2-point advantage.
Flores again, top of the key this time. They give it up to Ervin Mendoza. Shot is too strong. QC looking for their second basket. 2 points so far on their tally. James Martinez. Napes is trying to seal inside. He has a mismatch. Great switch mula sa Marikina. No conversion for QC. And Gayosa gets the basketball. Oh, stolen away. Martinez trying to escape. Tolentino tapping it out of bounds.
QC just couldn't get a break on their past few possessions. And you could see the frustration on the face of Kyle Napes after that ball sailed out of bounds. Here, James Martinez trying to create contact, but Tolentino getting a clean swipe of the ball.
That's going to be a tough matchup for Kyle Tolentino as he is covering James Martinez. Napes inside, no go. Rebound Gayosa. Chance for Marikina. Forward pass. Flores, clear path to the rim.
And this is the transition defense that we have been talking about that has been a problem for QC, especially in that game against Gensan. Giving up 38 fast break points is unforgivable.
6 points right now for Marikina, all from J.R. Flores. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Mpbl. They go to James Martinez for 3. That's good.
And now Martinez, for some reason that we're still unaware of, pumasok na during the second half of that game against Gensan, despite the early struggles of his squad. And here he is hoisting up another 3-point shot, however short on that attempt. Only played 8 minutes in that game, Mix, but was still able to score 11 points. So alam naman natin that James Martinez can get buckets in such a short span of time.
There you go. On display, James Martinez, catch and fire. No problem for the former UE Red Warrior. And for Marikina, pasok naman dito Joseph Terso, who came from Davao in the previous season, and Ives Sazon. their second top scorer, just behind Enzo Hoson. Halfway through the first quarter, 6-5 our score. Quezon City down by 1. Martinez looking to escape. Here he is, two-man game with Napes. Nakawala, reverse layup is a miss, but Napes is there.
Right place at the right time. Kyle Napes has been trying to get something going on inside, finally getting that basket to fall, but miscue on the defensive end. The clearing of the Red Sea.
Great feed from J.R. Flores, who scored most of the points of Marikina so far. And a beautiful cut as well mula kay Irvin Mendoza. And because of that, Marikina gets the lead back with a score of 8-7.
Sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basket.
Power up your viewing experience
Papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part.
because more channels are added to your Signal lineup. Now super loaded with these new channels. Kapamilya Channel HD, Spo TV and Spo TV 2, Fox News Channel and Deutsche Welle. Keep your postpaid or prepaid account active to enjoy these new channels. Scan the QR code to know more.
No reason to miss out on movie nights or your favorite weekly series when you link your Signal account on Signal Play. Just log in to signalplay.com, enter your Signal prepaid or postpaid account, and unlock the same awesome content right on your mobile device. Tara sa Signal Play. Link your account and get a free
3 games in Nueva Ecija. And the headline would be the Rice Vanguards defending their home court against Laguna. And speaking of Laguna, a former Laguna player in Kyle Napes scoring a basket here.
Second straight offensive rebound and put back para kay Kyle Napes, the former LU Bulldog, working hard underneath.
Great rebound by Napes off of a miss mula kay Ves Sazon. Here's Martinez. Decides to fire. Mintis sa kanyang tres. The hustle by Mabigat. It won't pay off though. Bola ng Marikina Shoe Masters.
Here's that forward pass by Mabigat to Mpbl, who tried to spun his way inside the lane, but luckily Napes was there once again to clean up the mess.
8-9. Flores short. Here's Marcy Arellano coming off the bench in this match. On to Marlon Monte, also one of the veterans here in the Mpbl. Kyle Napes for 3. No. Marikina, chance to get the lead back. Here's Raymond Casajeros. Irvin Mendoza. Another miss. Rebound. And that cannot be controlled by J.R. Flores.
That's a lucky break right there for QC. It looked like Flores had the prime position to collect that offensive rebound. It could have given them an easy putback, but ball was tapped out of bounds in favor of QC.
Some substitutions here. Bruce Fortuno para sa Marikina. And then for Quezon City, Justin Serrano, one of the usual starters, alongside Chris Menges, who is one of their top scorers. Marcy Arellano. Cross-court pass onto Marlon Monte. Baseline drive. Good block by Casajeros. And it will be a baseline inbound for the Red Shirts.
Now that you've mentioned Chris Menges, makes absent in that game, not physically, but in terms of production. Scoreless in that game against Jinsan after being the most consistent performer para kay Coach Alvin Gray in previous games.
Exactly. We were pointing out that he was the #1 scorer prior to that match versus Jensen. Scored his career high in their first game of the season against Nueva Ecija. There's Chris Menges on your screen. Here he is working with Marcy Arellano. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Marcy, oh, wild pass. It was just too long for Justin Serrano.
Misunderstanding on that offensive set coming from Menguez and Serrano. And Arellano was forced to give up an emergency pass. However, nobody really ready to receive that.
Substitutions here. Pasok dito for Marikina. Tolentino replacing J.R. Flores. Inside. Almost a good pass mula kay Bruce Fortuno. There's one more chance here for Marikina off of a baseline inbound. Ives Sazon, catch and fire. That's short. Rebound belongs to Marikina one more time. And that's going to be cash for Ives Sazon.
You can give scorers like Ives Sazon 2 opportunities at the basket in the same possession, because most often than not, these guys won't miss twice.
And Ives Sazon is the #1 3-point field goal maker here in the Mpbl, averaging 3.3 3-point makes per game. There's a foul here. May tatawag yan against Bruce Fortuno. Take a look at it. Great effort mula kay Casajeros, locating Ives Sazon for one of the easiest shots that he's gonna take here in the Mpbl.
That's right. The defense of QC has really pinned their attention on him. 3-point field goal story right here on your screens. 2 out of 5 now for Marikina, and now 1 out of 7 for QC after another miss from them from downtown.
Here's Terzo. Handoff, working with Casajeros. Joseph Terzo, one of the experienced guards here in the Mpbl. A champion in his name as well. Offensive rebounding working for Marikina. Not much space for Fortuno. Pass was just too narrow for Marikina.
And the Shoemaster is not realizing that Terzo was wide open on the left corner.
11-9. Close game at the start of this ball game. 90 seconds remaining in the first. Menguez trying to create space. Great matchup against Tolentino. Layup was too strong. Opportunity for Marikina. Sazon running the floor. Great presence of mind by Ives Sazon as he bounces the ball off of a Quezon City player.
A good intention right there by Terzo, but that pass just a little bit too forward for Sazon to get into good scoring position.
Here's Sazon again. He only needs a little bit of space, and you know he's gonna score.
They switched right there on the pick and roll, and Menguez was the culprit of that on the defensive end, but making up for that boo-boo with the basket.
Menguez, you mentioned, scoreless in the previous match. That's a good sign for him. Casajeros is blocked by Chris Menguez. And actually, when he was in Parañaque, that's one of the things he's known for. Chris Menguez is shot blocking.
Well, with those long arms, you can't really deny the fact that he has prowess on that end.
Wow, tough shot by Sazon. It's short. Here come the MG cars. Marlon Monte. The screen by Menguez, but the chase down by Casajeros. Tremendous effort right there.
That's good recovery right there by Casajeros. Everything seemed to be going for naught para dito sa Marikina on that fast break try by QC. Menguez was able to set a good screen for a clear lane, but not so clear after that Casajeros swat.
Great to see a chase down from a guard here in the Mpbl. Foul and an opportunity to score at the line for Quezon City. Marlon Monte will proceed to it. So in the first 9.5 minutes, Javi, what are you observing from our two teams?
Well, itong Marikina really amping up the pressure on the defensive end and have made it hard for the usual suspects from a scoring standpoint, itong QC, to receive the basketball and make something happen. Samantalang Marikina naman on their side of the offense, medyo magulo pa. There's a little bit scramble happening, but they've had a lot of bailout shots from their top guns like Ives Sazon and J.R. Flores.
14 to 12 our score. These two teams have been going back and forth. Couple of lead changes. 30 seconds remaining. 9-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Will that be a turnover? Can Mabigat complete it? He just lost space, so babalik po ang bola sa Marikina.
Now with guys like Mel Mabigat on the floor for QC, sila naman ang nagbibigay ng matinding pressure on the defensive end dito sa Marikina.
Casajeros, almost another steal, but that's gonna bounce off of referee calls na tumama kay Marcy Arellano.
And that's also one guy you can rely on to play great defense game in and game out. That should have been off of Marikina.
Sideline inbound here. Pasok dito si Aaron Estacio para sa Marikina Shootmasters. Sazon, that is shot. There's a push here. In the battle for the loose ball, Tristan Hernandez ang matatawagan.
Obvious call right there by our officials. Now Quezon City has a chance to write the last sentence of this first chapter.
9 seconds remaining. Here's Marlon Ponte. Bounce pass. Marcy Arellano. Layup is too strong. Mabigat on the second try. It's gonna work. So after the first 10 minutes of play, we are tied, ladies and gentlemen, at 14-all.
Well, QC has done a wonderful job of crashing the offensive boards. Jared Flores right here finding his stroke early on after hitting a free throw. Before that play, ito si James Martinez sinking it from the outside. But it has been a back and forth contest as both squads refusing to give an inch because of the dire need of a victory in today's game. So expect a dogfight even more in the next periods.
Kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan.
Back here in the Brent Giao Convention Center in Pampanga for your Mpbl Monday. Our score is 14-all between the Quezon City MG Cars and the Marikina Shoemasters. Earlier today, we saw victories for the Manila Stars kontra sa Muntinlupa Cagers and the San Juan Knights. Kalaban naman ang Imus Bandera. Take a look at our first quarter field goal shooting. Both of our teams shooting less than 33% from the floor.
27 and 28% respectively para sa dalawang koponan. Quezon City having more attempts, 3 more than Marikina because of the opportunities that they've had made crashing the offensive glass.
And that actually happened in the very last play. Mel Mabigat scoring the last basket of the first quarter. Marlon Monte scoring the first basket of the second. Here's Justin Serrano. Looking for a teammate, Marlon Monte. 10 on the shot clock. Driving right. Marlon creating space. Mintis sa kanya tira. Hernandez with the board. Forward pass. Great steal by Marcy. He goes to Marlon Monte all the way for 2.
It's always lovely to see that despite the advancements in the career of Marcy Arellano, the defensive instincts hindi pa rin nawawala.
That was a great play from him. He almost lost space at the sideline. Joseph Terzo scoring his first basket here for Marikina.
But that time getting caught up in a bind and allowing Terzo to hit an open jumper.
Well, Javi, this is setting up to be a close affair between Quezon City and Marikina. for most of this game, if not all of it. It has only been separated by a single possession.
And here's that steal by Marcy Arellano. And great setup for Monte to finish on the break.
5 points for number 5 of Quezon City, Marlon Monte. Great feed inside as Justin Serrano finishes for QC.
The offense of QC has improved dramatically with the entrance of Marcy Arellano. Gumanda na yung ball movement. The plays have been set up beautifully. And everybody, just like that Justin Serrano bucket, has had a good opportunity to find the hole.
Then they make a stop here. They're able to give Ives Sazon a hard time. Turnover number 5 para sa Marikina kontra sa 4 ng Quezon City. Now our third current tally. Here's Marcy Arellano being defended by Terzo. That's a great matchup. Arellano will score.
Marcy Arellano always hasn't been the most athletic, the most talented, but definitely one of the smartest guards that we have here in the Mpbl, and that is why he has been able to carve out a long career and give this QC squad a 6-point lead going into this timeout.
We're back here in Pampanga for your Mpbl Monday. Tomorrow, for the first time in Mpbl history, we will bring the action all the way to Palayan City, Nueva Ecija, giving you your first Mpbl triple header in that province. And the same thing will happen next week. Monday po, Pampanga ulit tayo. Then Tuesday, balik sa Nueva Ecija. The Rice Vanguards tomorrow will face Laguna. Next week, San Juan naman po ang kanilang katapat. And just so everyone knows as well, no? This coming Saturday, sa Rizal, ang magiging venue natin as the Golden Coolers go up against Pasig. 22-16 our score. +4 on the rebounding para sa Quezon City. +7 din sa kanilang second chance points. They're looking good here in the second frame. Bonleon, the kick out. Marcy Arellano, you mentioned the offense has flowed very well since his entrance. Serrano for 3, too strong. Rebound, it ends up with QC. And that's one thing that has paid off for Quezon City, the rebounding that leads to more opportunities for them to score.
Now, I'm not seeing anymore the tight pressure defense that Marikina has had during the start of this game. You saw there Marcy Arellano collecting the offensive rebound and getting a clear lane to the basket. Tolentino missing on a three-pointer para sa Marikina.
Tolentino hasn't found the rim here, or the bottom of the rim. Segura fires. Shot is too strong. Rebound belongs to Gayosa. Almost a steal. Forward pass. Tolentino all the way for 2.
A much needed basket right there for Marikina to kind of quell this rally that QC has been going on.
Zone here for the Shoemasters. That leaves Bonleon wide open, but the shot is way off. There's another offensive rebound for Quezon City, although they turned it over.
One more curious thing for me that I've noticed in this game as we look at this replay, forward pass to Kyle Tolentino for the finish. If during that Gensan game, it was James Martinez who didn't have the usual playing time that he usually commands, ngayon naman we haven't seen Levy de la Cruz in this game for Coach Alvin Gray.
That's right. Levy usually starts. We mentioned his numbers, and he was our key player in the pregame. Ken Segura getting a great pass from Marcy Arellano. So, with the absence of Levy de la Cruz, Xavi, certainly nakapag-deliver naman si Marcy Arellano.
Yeah, well, you know, compared to that game against Jensen, there's not really a need to bring in reinforcements from the bench because the guys on the floor have been performing very well. But as we say this, Coach Alvin Gray plucks itong si Levy de la Cruz from the bench to maybe even pad more points onto this lead.
Kasabay sila ni Oliver de Guzman to check in. Mintes ang hook shot ni Kyle Tolentino. Here's Bon Leon attacking the rim. The kick out. Napes inside to Bon Leon. Wow, what a move! But he misses the layup. Terzo finding Tolentino at the last second.
Well, that was already a late pass given up by Joseph Terzo, but Kyle Napes just gave Tolentino a clear lane to the basket despite the late giveaway by Terzo. Didn't challenge that shot anymore para sa kanya.
Back-to-back layups para kay Kyle Tolentino. Our score 26-22.
Sipin sa droga ay huwag paalipin. Buong bansa'y magsama-sama. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5.5 minutes remaining before halftime here in Pampanga. 26-22. Our score in favor of Quezon City. Marikina still with that zone. De Guzman, Bon Leon. One dribble, pull up, it's too strong. Rebound, Segura. Again, the offensive rebounding has been there for QC. Another chance. Levy, fake, steps, fires. Another miss. This time the rebound belongs to the Flores.
At that time, the Shoemasters able to secure the board, but it has been doubly hard for them to collect those defensive rebounds as Tolentino finally scores from the outside because of the zone that they have been playing. Alam naman natin that when you play a zone, it is more difficult for you to secure the defensive rebounds because you're not guarding a man, you're guarding a spot on the floor. That's why it's called a zone.
Good for them. They got a stop in the previous possession. And Alfred Gayosa goes all the way. Now Marikina has the lead.
Little run here para sa Shoemasters.
And that was sparked by the 7 points of Kyle Tolentino. Napes, they swing it to De La Cruz. Levy will miss. Rebound Sazon. Opportunity again for the Shoemasters. Terzo, alley-oop to Tolentino. One more try here. Kyle will score.
Wow, the upside of this kid is just crazy. Not enough hang time to finish that alley-oop, but had the presence of mind and the hard work to get after that basketball and collect his own miss and get the cleanup.
Marikina now feeling the momentum, up by 3. Gayosa, no foul, battle for the board. It ends up with QC. They do not have the numbers here. De La Cruz will challenge them though. And he kicks it out to De Guzman. Kyle Napes. Bon Leon looking for the high-low. Wasn't given to him. And there's a foul against Sazon.
Now the challenge right now here for Levy de la Cruz is to control the QC offense the way Marcy Arellano was directing traffic in his time on the floor. But here Marikina taking control of this game back to their team. Courtesy primarily of this guy, Kyle Tolentino.
29-26, 3 minutes and change in the second. Del Pinado scored the first basket of the ball game. That's his second one.
At naghanap pa ng foul, ah.
He trims the lead down to 1. Tolentino, he checked right there. Kyle Tolentino with 10 points, 2 3-point shots, all in the second quarter. Make that 12 points. What an addition he has been for Coach Elvis Tolentino, as he did not need to look very far dahil yung kasagutan ay nasa tirahan niya na si Kyle Tolentino. As Ives Sazon, he makes the 3-point shot here, 35-28. Don't look now, Javi. It's a 7-point lead, 15-2 run for Marikina.
Now, this is something that the Redshirts need to be wary of, because this is exactly how Gensan was able to pull away in their last game because of their torrid 3-point shooting. But Mpbl playing the role of fireman to douse that rally.
35-30, under 2 minutes before halftime. Gayosa, that's going to be a walk.
A basket and a stop by QC, a chance for them to trim this deficit further to a one-possession ball game on this offensive sit.
We have seen a lot of lead changes in this match. Two teams with 1 win, respectively. They're both in the North Division.
That's a travel.
Kyle Nape is totally unhappy with that. Balik dito si Marlon Monte for Quezon City. He scored the first basket for QC in the second quarter. Here's Ryan Suwal manning the point para sa Marikina, getting minutes with the absence of Enzo Hoson. Ervin Mendoza misses. One more chance here. They kick it out. Tolentino for 3. What a second quarter for the young man.
Well, he definitely has the license, though, and he is not afraid to use it. You know, most of the time, people will question the playing time that a coach gives to a player when the head coach is your father. But Kyle Tolentino proving that, you know, it doesn't really work that way, because he's translating it to great performance on the floor.
23 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Kyle Tolentino in their previous match. Now he's up to 15, and he has scored all of them here in the second quarter.
Ill-advised shot right there by Naves.
Tolentino, another chance for him. He's fouled. Basket and 1.
Just how good is this kid, Migs? Showing the entire arsenal here, absorbing the contact from Jason Del Pinado, who is not a lean body, and able to finish the shot despite that.
40-30, flex on of Kyle Tolentino with 58 seconds remaining. It's now ballooned into a 10-point lead for Marikina. One can only wonder the type of conversations that happen inside that Tolentino household.
I'm sure, you know, the ride back home after every game is torture for Kyle Tolentino, especially during their previous games in the midst of that losing streak that they've had. But right now, he is definitely repaying the trust that his father is giving him and silencing all of the doubters.
By the way, you just saw Nikki Viola and Kyle's girlfriend, Cristel. So,
Kaya naman pala, inspired
Of course,
performance.
he's very inspired. Si Kyle kasi, kasama niya yung tatay niya, kasama niya yung girlfriend niya, pati yung nanay niya. Miss Eileen is somewhere here inside our Brent Giao Convention Center. So if you talk about pressure, it's not only coming from his father. Chance here para sa Quezon City to trim down that lead. Ooh, it's a 3-second violation.
It was only a matter of time before that call was made. A lot of red shirts crowding that shaded area. And another botched opportunity for QC, and that is coming off a timeout. One thing that the head coach really hates.
Balik tayo with Kyle Tolentino, who's gonna go all the way. No foul called, and the ball bounced off of him.
Strong drive right there to the basket as he saw an opportunity with that open lane, but good recovery by the help defense of QC.
7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Turnover forced by Marikina. Sazon is running. He's gonna go to the hot hand. Tolentino bombs away.
It's cold in this venue, but this guy is super hot.
And 20 points all in the second quarter. He's been playing very well. Make that 21 to be exact. 4 3-point shots. And he has pushed the lead of Marikina to 14. 4 seconds remaining. One last shot here. And that's going to do it, folks. What a turnaround for the Marikina Shoe Masters. They were led by just one guy, Kyle Tolentino, with 21 points all in the second.
Well, QC was able to play beautiful basketball, partly due, actually largely in due to the orchestration of Marcy Arellano, getting his teammates a lot of good opportunities despite the heavy pressure that the Marikina defense was having. But the switch flipped para sa Shoe Masters in that second quarter because of the Kyle Tolentino show.
14-point lead, the biggest of the ball game for Marikina. Again, they're trying to snap their 5-game losing skid against a Quezon City team that also has one win only compared to their 3 losses. Now let's go to our courtside reporter na si Mika Bisamis. Kasama niya ang ating best player of the half na si Kyle Tolentino.
Salamat. Kasama ko ngayon si Kyle Tolentino with 21 points. Actually, alam nyo, tinanong niya sa akin kung nakailang points na daw ba siya. Mukhang nagulat pa siya kung ilang points na nga talaga. Noong una na outrun nila kayo, no, until you started getting those shots, talagang worth it yung every second mo pag nasa loob ka ng court.
Yun lang, talaga kasi galing kami ng limang straight na talo. So itong game talaga, eager talaga kami manalo, and sinunod lang namin yung isil ng coach namin na huwag mong papatalo, and ayun, mas pag-iigihan pa namin sa third and fourth quarter para makuha namin panalo.
Okay, pero speaking of eager, siguradong eager din itong Quezon City na balikan kayo sa second half.
Siyempre di namin naayaan yun, and mas pag-iigihan pa namin lalo na yung depensa namin kasi medyo naging kami sa depensa namin ng mga una nag-resita kami. So siguro yun yung mag-a-adjust pa kami sa second half.
Maraming salamat and good. We have prepared beautiful plays for you. Here are your top 5 plays of the week.
Is there here with the big boys of the Mpbl. Marcelino to Marcelino.
Really, the connection of the twins coming in play. So sa alley-oop play na yun, sa transition for Zamboanga.
Sharing the same wavelength that they have their whole lives. JC Marcelino, eye in the sky to his brother JP. Capobre sidestepping. Dangerous pass to Victoria. Boom! What a shot! An answer by Lawrence Victoria. Spectacular play after spectacular play.
They didn't need the three. What a gutsy shot by Victoria. I mean, uncontested, great penetration by Capobres, this time making the smart play.
Very nervous now, Wheaton just announced the last 2 minutes of this game. We're going down the wire here in Bataan. Turnover by Jolo Mendoza. Sara on the break. And one opportunity, Ruben Bahar. What a crucial turnover right there by Jolo Mendoza. Attack from the back by Mark Yu. Getting it to his body. That's Sara absorbed here. 4.5 seconds remaining. Mabigat goes to De La Cruz. 2 seconds. Mpbl drives middle. Oh! Is that gonna count? Was there enough time on the game clock?
Nakita natin yung slow-mo na time. Mpbl, did he get the ball out of the shots in time? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
It's clear.
Yes, he did. At nagtatawa na mga kasama natin namin. On tayo na naman dalawang tambalang overtime. Makita natin. At makikita mo yung board. Magpupula yung board. Wow.
Super close.
Yeah, makikita mo yung board na mula nung nawala na yung bola sa kamay.
Attacks Escuelas. Another steal here by Castro. Oh, showtime! The crowd is loving it.
Well, if there's one person in the Mpbl who can get everybody excited, that's James Castro.
The James Castro wraparound.
Parang wala na. Playground basketball at its finest.
And the Bataan crowd just loving the show being put on by their own team.
Bawat Pilipino sa
Here in the Benzi Giao Convention Center in Pampanga, I'm Mika Abesames and I am with very special people, Mr. Ryan B. Ripalda, Team Manager of Quezon City, and Dr. Rianji Pioquinto, Team Manager of Marikina. I actually have a very familiar questions for both of you po kasi basically your teams are almost in the same situation, no? Sir, kayo po muna. Kailangan ng team ng wins, dagdagan ng wins, ano? So ano po yung mindset na ibinibigay nyo sa players tuwing natatalo or pagkatapos manalo?
Siyempre, laging dapat positive heads up na kumbaga, we always move forward. And despite may mga losses kami na sunod-sunod, yung preparation namin for every game, move forward and then, kumbaga, kalimutan na yung nangyari yung last game and then positive mindset pa rin.
Sir, meron daw kayong mga gustong batiin?
Yes, of course. We'd like to thank Honorable Governor Dennis Pineda, si Vice Governor Nanay Lilia Pineda, si Coach Alan Trinidad, tapos si Mr. Albert Arcilia of NG Motor Philippines, si Ma'am Lynn Buena, si Mr. Joey Abina, si Casa Sportswear, Pimentel Realty, and happy birthday sana namin sa Assistant Team Manager John Kaluwad, kay Tita Beth Arellano, and all the supporters of QCMG Cars and my family.
Maraming salamat, sir. Sir, same question. No? Basically, how do you set their minds for better things?
Siguro na ini-instill lang namin sa mga players namin na they just have to focus on what the coaches taught them during the trainings and to play as a team lagi. Yun lang.
Meron din kayong mga gustong batiin, sir?
Unang-una nagpapasalamat kami sa mga sponsors namin, sa OKBet, sa Sports Garage Apparel, at sa G5 Pansit and Sizzling, at sa Tingog Party List.
Thank you very much. Once again, Dr. Rianji Pioquinto and Mr. Ryan Ripalda. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
Halftime between Marikina and Quezon City. Our score is 44-30. Marikina just pulling away at the last minutes of our second quarter. It was tight. A lot of lead changes from the beginning of the ball game. J.R. Flores making some shots at the beginning of it. Quezon City actually, they were on a roll at the start of the second quarter. But then, as soon as Kyle Tolentino emerged for Marikina, they didn't just stop. Now it's 44-30 in favor of them.
Tama ka dun, Migs, no? You could see the hunger from both squads coming out of the gates in the first quarter. But this second quarter, it was just really the Kyle Tolentino show. As you see here, finishing on the break and hitting his stride from the outside. Ives Sazon, the top scorer for Marikina. When you talk about the Shoemasters, Ives Sazon is definitely the face of that, but he has been deferring to the hot hat, who is Kyle Tolentino in this game. 21 points in just the first two quarters. It remains to be seen if he can duplicate that damage in the second half. But right now, the Shoemasters are just dominating Quezon City. 45% from the field, 50% from 3-point country, 8 out of 16. Samantalang itong QC couldn't really find the accuracy from 3-point country, as only 1 out of 13 from that distance. Inside points dominated by QC because of their opportunities coming from the offensive rebounds. Pero ang fast break points, namumuro dyan ang Marikina. Every time QC misses, Marikina is always ready to push the pace, and the transition defense of the Red Shirts have been absent in this game, as it has been against that game sa Gensan.
Yeah, you've been talking about that since the top of our coverage. Tinakbuhan lang sila ng Gensan that created this 30-point lead at the end of the game for the Warriors. There you see, 44-30, Kyle Tolentino. You mentioned 21 big points, all in the second quarter. Ives Sazon has 9. That's actually well on pace to maintain his 18 points per game average here in the Mpbl. But it has been all Kyle Tolentino. 4 3-point shots for him. This is actually only his third game in the Mpbl. Before this, he was averaging 23.5 points. But the sad thing about Marikina, Javi, as we just found out from one of our sources inside the team, no, that it is also the last game of Kyle Tolentino because he will be playing for the D-League.
Well, that's really sad news, no? So we hope we could see more of what he showed us in the first half dito sa ating third and fourth quarters.
Now also, another interesting thing that happened before halftime, or just as we entered halftime, the whole Quezon City team, they actually had a huddle at the middle of the court. It was led by Marcy Arellano. He talked to his teammates before everyone could walk to their locker room.
Oh, that's a mark of a great leader, no? Marcy Arellano, as we mentioned during that first half, during his time on the floor, sobrang ganda ng tinatakbo ng opensa ng QC. But when he went to the bench, sobrang gulo nang nangyari para sa Red Shirts, and that led to the lead of Marikina ballooning to double digits.
James Martinez starting in our second half alongside Marcy Arellano. So first time nila magsabay sa ating laro. They're playing alongside Justin Serrano, Jeric Nakpil, and they also have Mel Mabigat. On the other hand, we have Ives Sazon alongside Kyle Tolentino, Irvin Mendoza, J.R. Flores, and they also have Gilbert Karurupan. So interesting here, Javi, that both of the teams mixed, their starting fives as compared to their first fives in the first quarter.
Well, definitely adjustments by both coaches coming out of that halftime break. But QC really needing to make a move here to make a game out of this one. They don't want that demolishing win, a loss against Gensan, to happen once again to them. Samantalang Marikina naman wanting to stop their losing streak right now in this game.
5-game losing streak para sa Marikina. Quezon City, they've only lost their previous game, but they are at 1 win and 3 losses in our standings. And we also mentioned at the top of our coverage, these two teams also, they're a part of the North Division. So it's gonna matter, especially when it comes to the seedings in our playoffs. 44-31. A minute and change gone by in our third quarter. Inside QC goes. The kick out to Martinez. 5 on the shot clock. That's gonna go out of bounds in favor of Marikina.
Well, initially, Mpbl already had a good opportunity to go up for the shot underneath the basket, as it was only Karurukan who was defending him, but opted to pass it out. Turnover para dito sa QC.
Shoemasters. Here's Mendoza. Malabas si Cal Tolentino. 21 points to his name. Pull up. No go. Rebound. Ends up with Marcy Arellano. Mabigat ahead of the post. And he will score. That's 2 points for Mel Mabigat.
Always a reliable finisher on transition. Mel Mabigat from the right going to his left.
Lead is down to 11 here. Flores, wow! J.R. Flores showing us his athleticism.
Put that on the highlight reel. J.R. Flores, strong aggressive drive.
Safe to say, a lot of people were surprised because we are used to seeing him shoot the ball rather than dunk it. Turnover by Marikina. Numbers for QC. Bounce pass to Martinez. Wide open for 3. No! The other way we go. Flores onto Sazon. Pass inside. Karurugan. Mendoza on the second try. Basket and 1.
Now that basket, that opportunity for QC rather, could have been a good break for them, as they would have been able to cut the lead to 10 points. However, James Martinez just couldn't capitalize on that open look. And Marikina on the other end, as you see that dunk by Flores, getting an end-one opportunity of the offensive rebound and putback kay Irvin Mendoza.
Free throw is good for Irvin Mendoza. 48. Make that 49-33. Marikina still extending their lead here, carrying on their momentum from the second quarter. Mabigat, they send it over to Mpbl. Arellano, cross court. Martinez with 7 to work with. Marcy for 3. That's good.
Much needed basket right there for QC. No less than Marcy Arellano draining that shot to pull his team to within 13 once again.
3 minutes gone by in our third quarter. Lumalabas, Ives Sazon, stolen away by Mabigat. That's a good matchup. Mabigat defending Sazon.
Ooh. A missed opportunity right there for QC to cut this deficit. But here, two UE Red Warriors conniving on that possession. Martinez to Arellano. You'll usually see it happening oppositely, as Martinez usually the recipient of that pass by Marcy Arellano.
They get the ball back. Marcy against that zone of Marikina. Tolentino and Terzo up top. Good lob onto Chris Menguez.
Di na binaba ni Chris Menguez. Great presence of mind right there to keep the ball far from the reach of the hands below.
Lead is 11. QC slowly cutting in. They were down by 14 at halftime. Flores posting up against Menguez. It's too strong. Rebound. One more chance for Marikina. And stolen away by Kyle Napes. Chance for Quezon City to trim down the lead to single digits. Here's Kyle Napes. Dribble. Ooh. No good on the layup. Second try is good for Mel Mabigat.
And QC continues its dominance on the offensive boards, getting this deficit to just 9.
Marikina now feeling a little bit of the pressure. Tolentino's been shut down here in the third so far. Mendoza, they give it up to Flores. That's short. That's just unfortunate for Mel Mabigat, losing space.
Here's that lob to Chris Menguez, and a great presence of mind by the big man. Also that basket by Napes, which was cleaned up by Mel Mabigat, who has been playing excellent on both ends to start this third quarter. Kaya lang matatawagan siya ng foul on that play.
Mabigat has been trying to cover Ives Sazon. That's a tough shot right there. Fade away, but you know he's gonna take it.
Not really much of a case right there for Mabigat as the contact was very apparent. Natamaan niya yung lower side ng katawan ni Ives Sazon after that fadeaway jumper. And Coach Alvin Gray on your screens looking for answers still on how to stop this Marikina onslaught.
10 points, 4 rebounds for Ives Sazon, averaging 18 points per ball game. Number 4 in our best scorers list in the MPBL so far. Here's Martinez, catch and fire. Short, could have been a big one for QC. One more chance here off of a great rebound mula kay Menges. Arellano, they go to Mabigat. That's a shot.
Always within his range, that short mid-range jumper in the paint.
Lead is back to 9. Flores looking for a teammate. He decides to post up. Napes goes down, and that's a charge.
Good call right there by our referees. Flores, a little extension of the forearm in trying to create space against Napes on the post. As you see Gayosa checking in para kay Coach Elvis Tolentino. Let's take a look at that sequence again. There's that left forearm hitting Napes, sending him down to the floor.
Balik din dito si Oliver De Guzman replacing James Martinez. De Guzman is working with Mabigat, Arellano, Napes, and Chris Menges. On the other end, Marikina, they're showing us that 2-3 zone once more. Kyle Tolentino taking a breather. 9 on the shot clock. Napes, that's too strong. Great effort by Mabigat. Stolen away. But that's a foul.
Oh, he has been the consistent figure para sa kanyang koponan in this third quarter, really providing the energy and the effort, the hustle for his team to keep themselves within striking distance against Marikina, getting the offensive rebound and the foul as he went up.
Great energy displayed by Mel Mabigat here in the third quarter. And he's doing this offensively while defending Ives Sazon. Actually chasing Ives Sazon on the other end.
Great two-way performance being displayed here by Mabigat.
51-44. 4 minutes and 43 in the third. Don't look now. Quezon City slowly but surely trimming down that lead. Here's Ives Sazon. Defended by Marcy Arellano. Lumalabas si Kyle Napes. Pass inside. Great anticipation by Menges. But that bounces off of him.
The long arms of Chris Menges preventing an easy point-blank shot by Gayosa underneath.
Baseline inbound. Ives Sazon receives it against 3 defenders. Good steal by Marcy Arellano. He's looking ahead. Hand off to De Guzman. Back to Marcy. It's stolen away. Good defense by Marikina. A layup. There's a foul. So Ryan Sual will proceed to the line.
For indecision, almost always usually leads to a turnover. That's exactly what happened to Oliver De Guzman on that offensive play by QC. Had an opportunity to take the 3-point shot but opted to pass it off to Marcy Arellano on the right, which Marikina telegraphed really well.
And then it translates to free throws on the other end. Ryan Sual provided some minutes in the first half, 3 minutes to be exact. As you take a look at this replay,
that's just going to be a regular foul called on Oliver De Guzman. Coach Elvis Tolentino was looking for an unsportsmanlike foul because he thought there was a hit to the head nito ni Ryan Sual.
Sual still hasn't scored. 2 assists so far in his name. That's his first point. Lead is 8 points. 4 minutes to change in the third. Arellano and Mabigat breaking the press. Mel Mabigat! Acrobatic shot.
That is the way to attack a press.
On the other end, Sazon cannot answer back. Rebound by Mabigat. Quality minutes from Mpbl Marikina here in the third quarter. De Guzman for 3. That's short. Could have been a big one for QC. Almost stolen away. Marikina running on the other end. Gayosa. Too strong on the layup. Battle for the board. It ends up with Menges. Kabila naman. Marcy Arellano looking for a teammate. Napes losing space. Air ball. Rebound De Guzman. They have 10 on the shot clock. Mabigat. Another miss. Napes for 2.
May have gotten away with a push right there. Ito si Kyle Napes. But 2 points nonetheless para sa kanyang koponan. Just a 2-possession ball game.
52-48 in a quarter that started with a score of 44-30. Besazon cannot answer back. Another chance here for Marikina. Sual wide open for 3. No. Rebound Napes.
QC doing a good job defensively on the past few possessions. With the exit of Kyle Tolentino, nahirapan na ang Marikina to get a shot off. But as I say that, he comes back into the game.
Nevertheless, Quezon City, they were able to cut the lead down to 4 points here under 3 minutes remaining. It is actually our closest game in our 3 games so far today.
Save the best for last, ika nga.
Couple of substitutions. Also have to mention Mpbl Marikina now taking a breather, as he was that big spark para sa Quezon City here in the third. Here's Marlon Monte. Wide open is Oliver De Guzman. Short on the 3. Nakpil on the board. Still no go. Another chance. Nakpil backs it in.
Once again, dominance on the offensive glass by the red shirts. This time, Jeric Nakpil, the one doing a cleanup job.
Nakpil is the best rebounder of Quezon City. He's called for the foul, but he averages 10.5 rebounds per game, 4.5 coming from the offensive end. He is number 6 in that list of best rebounders in the Mpbl. Kyle Tolentino, catch and fire. That's too strong. Still hasn't scored in this third frame. Quezon City a chance to tie or get the lead. Menges, no basket, but he will proceed to the line.
Now Menges hasn't really found his old scoring form compared to the first few games para sa kanyang koponan. But he has been definitely playing quality minutes here para kay Coach Alvin Gray, performing on both ends of the floor. His long arms and length really bothering the offensive attack of Marikina. And right now getting an opportunity to tie this game.
And yes, now we are tied 52 all. 2 minutes and 9 remaining in the third. Great performance by Quezon City. 22 points kontra sa 8 ng Marikina. Javi, it looks like that huddle of Marcy Arellano before halftime paid off.
Yeah, because they let Marikina score 30 points in that second quarter. So definitely a good bounce back para dito sa QC.
Karurukan looking for a teammate. Here's Tolentino, pass inside. That's a foul.
Little misunderstanding on the defensive rotation by QC. Almost played great defense until the very end of that possession. Penalty here for both squads. They tried to blitz Karurukan. Successfully did. Got the ball out of his hands, but Mendoza was free, diving to the basket, and Nakpil just too late to give up the foul.
Irvin Mendoza, 2 points in the first half, making that free throw to give the lead back to Marikina under 2 minutes remaining. Second is a missed rebound, Jeric Nakpil. Levi De La Cruz inserted back in the ball game. He's working with the other point guard, Oliver De Guzman. Marlon Monte, no go. Battle for the rebound. Look at that activity of Jeric Nakpil.
Now this is also one guy who was absent in their game against Jensen. Only had 7 points to his name, but right now leaving an imprint para sa kanyang koponan, and more importantly, giving them back the lead 54-53.
Haven't tasted that lead since early in the first half. Mpbl, we mentioned his rebounding prowess. Also shooting at a very efficient 51% from the field in this season for Quezon City. And now they force a stop. Minute and 35, 54-53, QC with possession. Still against that zone, Marikina. Mpbl, pick of the pass. Mintisian, battle for the rebound, and it bounces off of De Guzman. Oh, good steal here, Levy de la Cruz.
Before he was able to display his wares as an offensive threat dito sa Mpbl, Levy de la Cruz was really more known as a defensive threat, and he displayed that right there with a steal and finish.
Quezon City now feeling it. Flores, tough shot for him. A missed rebound, Mpbl. Great activity from both ends of the floor for Quezon City. De La Cruz taking the pass. Jeric Mpbl inside, tapped away, battle for the ball. It ends up with Menges. Here's De Guzman, short. Another board. Well, it's a push from behind against Mpbl, or make that Christopher Menges.
De Guzman has been struggling all season long para sa Quezon City. But let's first take a look at that steal by Levy de la Cruz. Casejeros trying to dribble in front of the pesky guard, but you cannot do that against a guy who has a good nose for the ball like Levy.
36 seconds here. Quick turnaround here, Javi, in the third quarter. Down by 14, now you're up by 3. Just proves how basketball is a game of momentums. And now, it's anybody's ball game as Karurukan makes the first free throw.
Well, as fans, I'm sure you guys are loving what you're seeing right here. One team coming back from a double-digit deficit, and the other team trying to get a hold of this game still.
QC breaking that press once more. Levy de la Cruz working with Marlon Monte, Marcy Arellano, Jeric Mpbl, and Chris Menges. Ball goes out of bounds, tumama sa likod ng ring.
Oh, that play was going nowhere. Marlon Monte dribbled into a land of nowhere. He commits a turnover for his team.
There's a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Karurukan working with Tolentino as De La Cruz gets another steal. Basket for him. It has happened twice in the third quarter, and now it's another turnover.
And I just love how Levy de la Cruz has impacted this game with his defense in this third quarter. You remember that he came in late in that first half because of the stellar play of Marcy Arellano.
Now they're working together. 3 seconds remaining here. Mpbl trying to pound his way through. No go. And that's going to do it, folks, for our first 3 quarters of play. We started the second half with a score of 44-30 in favor of Marikina. The Shoemasters only score 11 points. And then on the other end, Quezon City scoring 28. And that guy, he was definitely the spark plug. 12 points and 6 rebounds para kay Mel Mabigan.
Oh, this guy working both ends of the floor for Coach Alvin Gray, scoring 10 of his 12 points in this third quarter. And more importantly, spearheading the comeback and getting the lead back to his squad, 58-55. We will be back for the fourth and final quarter of action.
Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yumayanig ang bakbakan. Todo suporta ang lahat sa kanya-kanyang
Back here in the Brengiao Convention Center in Pampanga for your MPBL Monday. Third game at hand. No home court advantage. Wala pong laro ang Pampanga Giant Lanterns. But we still have a sizable crowd here. So we would like to thank everyone joining us. And also those of you watching in our MPBL live stream. Take a look at our quarter scoring.
Contrasting outcomes in the second and third quarters para sa parehong koponan. Giving up 30 points itong QC in that second quarter, but answering back with 28 of their own while holding the Shoemasters to 11 in that third quarter.
And then they start this fourth with a 3-point shot courtesy of Levi De La Cruz. De La Cruz has the handle once again. The pass is too short. We talked about De La Cruz not getting minutes because of the good play of Marcia Arellano. Here in the fourth quarter, they're working together alongside Marlon Monte, Chris Menges, and Jeric Nakpil. As Nakpil scores another basket. On the other end for Marikina, they have Sazon, Tolentino, Raflores, Gayosa, and Terzo on the court.
Well, Coach Alvin Gray finally has found the combination that has been working wonders for him, especially in this comeback. Marikina still has no answers to this five on the floor.
Oh, a tough shot by Kyle Tolentino. But that was a badly needed basket for the young man.
Well, not just for him, no, but also for his squad as they're down by 6 points. See here that fade away, able to absorb the contact and drain the shot. Wasn't able to score a basket in that third quarter after having 21 in the first half. If this is to be the swan song of Kyle Tolentino, I expect him to pour on the points in this all-important final frame.
He has tied his season output of 23 points per game. There's one more chance here to surpass that after that line violation. 63-57. Marikina's now facing a 6-point deficit, a minute gone by in the fourth. Again, this is Kyle Tolentino's last game for Marikina before he joins the D-League. As you get this report from Mika Abisamis.
Alam nyo kung kanina si Justin Gutang wrestler, alam nyo ba itong si Levi De La Cruz was a sepak takraw player. Kaya siguro despite his size, very athletic siya. So he said he wants to continue to lead this team with itong ang si Kuya Marcy Arellano. Migs, happy?
You know what, Mika, we're gonna have to let you demo to us kung paano laruin ang sepak takraw. Pero ang alam ko lang dyan is that nilalaro yun sa SEA Games. As Tolentino gets the steal and the layup for Marikina.
A great defense right there by Marikina to sort of douse a little bit this rally that QC has been on. There's that defensive pressure. Last time we've seen this was at the early goings of this game. And what a way for it to come back to get them to within a possession. Kyle Tolentino, another basket for him, consecutive ones para sa kanya to trim this deficit. 3 points na lang kalamangan ng QC.
Bayan ay sumasaya kapag may labay nagkakaisa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, basketball na. Ang bawat labay pinaghahandaan, kaya yung bayan igang magbakas. Todo support.
First-time moms ba kayo kagaya ko?
Oh, full-time mom na, career woman pa.
Rough, no? Don't worry dahil sagot namin kayo. Inay's to the rescue.
Ako si Pat Fernandez.
Ako naman si MJ Marfori.
At katulad nyo, kailangan din namin ng katuwang sa tamang diskarte sa pag-aalaga kay Bibi.
Kaya samahan nyo kami dito sa 1PH para sa pagiging ina, hindi kayo mapapa. Inay ko po!
Inay ko po, alas 10 ng umaga tuwing Sabado.
Nagbabalik po ang OK Bet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abisamis at ito pa ang isang kwento na pag-usapan niyo ang conversation ni Kyle and Coach Elvis pag umuuwi. Sabi niya, alam mo, swerte tong teammates ko kasi sila takot lang sa court. Siya daw takot sa court, sa kotse, sa dining table, pero dahil dito mas ginaganahan daw siya maglaro. At pagkatapos naman daw niyan ng pangaral, corrections, demonstrations, kakain naman daw siya ng masarap na luto ng mommy niya na nakikinig lang daw sa tabi hanggang matapos ang basketball talk. Migs, Javi.
That's a great combination right there. Kyle's mom is actually at the right side of the back of the rim, no? Sa likod ng ring ng Marikina. So that's a good balance to know na nakakatakot man yung kanyang itay, kanyang coach. Eh, mapinabawi naman sa kanya ng kanyang ina sa masarap na pagkain.
in QC in that offensive. Arellano able to get to the teeth of the defense. Got it to Kyle Napes, who had good position at the middle of the paint, but didn't see Levy de la Cruz, who was free for an outside shot on the right flank.
65 to 60. 2 minutes gone by in our fourth and final frame. Marikina still with that zone. Arellano gives it up to De La Cruz for three. That's good.
Just like what I said earlier, he has been wanting to take that shot as he was free earlier.
Levy de la Cruz actually one of the best three-point shooters in the league. 2.3 makes per game and shooting it at a very efficient 47% from downtown.
De La Cruz scoreless in that first half, but now has 10 points to his name. And not just that, also 3 incredible steals.
That's a good sign for Quezon City. As soon as Mpbl Mabigat took a breather, pasok naman si Levy de la Cruz, injecting that energy for the red shirts. Arellano gives it back. Marlon Monte, baseline drive. That's tough for Monte as he lost space, but he absorbs the contact.
Interesting play called there by QC. Monte sailing through that baseline area where you usually would find your bigs receiving the ball, but that time he was a recipient from a cut and able to draw a foul.
There's Kyle Tolentino. Career high for him, 26 points in his last game for Marikina. He will play for the D-League, and then we'll await his decision after that if he can still return here in the Mpbl. Steal by Marlon Monte, the veteran, sparking that run para sa Quezon City. It has been a 7-0 run for them. Unfortunately, he cannot finish.
And good recovery still for Kyle Tolentino to get that possession back to his squad. 10-point lead ang inahabol nila dito.
Hernandez looking for a teammate. Crucial times now for Marikina. Can Kyle Tolentino deliver for the white shirts? That's tough. What a matchup that is, Javi. Kyle Tolentino being defended by Levy de la Cruz.
Kyle obviously having the height advantage, but De La Cruz, this guy unfazed by that. Kaya lang natawagan siya ng foul on that play.
Under 7 minutes remaining here. 10-point lead. Tolentino driving. Tolentino puts it up. No go. There's a push from behind.
That's good defense right there for QC, forcing Tolentino into a shot that he's not comfortable with. That one-hander, you could see that he had to adjust in mid-air.
Timeout tayo dito. 6 minutes and 46 remaining. Quezon City up by 10. Career high, 26 points for the young man, Kyle Tolentino. And that's mainly because of that napakasarap na pagkain na niluluto sa kanya ng kanyang ina na si Miss Eileen. At syempre, lahat ng turo ng kanyang itay naman na si Coach Elvis Tolentino as reported by Mika Abesamis.
Ano kayang favorite pre-game meal ni Kyle Tolentino?
That's a good question.
Hey, just like our founder, Senator Manny Pacquiao, who loves to eat tinola before a boxing match. I'm sure some of these players have a staple in their pre-game meals.
Let's see if mahabol pa sa atin ni Mika yan later on. Right now, it's Marcy Arellano scoring a basket. The lead of Quezon City has ballooned to 12 points. Here's Ives Sazon, catch and fire. That's too strong. Could have been a big one. Battled for the rebound. Jump ball ang itatawag. Gayosa and Napis with an act of sportsmanship right there. Will be a baseline inbound, ball possession in favor of Marikina. They're looking for answers now. Ives Sazon. They go to Tolentino. Being defended by Marlon Monte. Screen up top. Kyle met by multiple defenders. That's a tough shot. On the other end, Arellano serving the floor. Arellano for two.
Good defense on one end, fueling the offense on the other. Marcy Arellano, another stellar play para sa kanyang koponan.
Quezon City slowly, surely pulling away here. Biggest lead of the ball game, 74-60 for them. Marlon Monte looking to add fuel to the fire. Just misses it. On the other end, Gayosa, one guy to beat. Gayosa, he will go to the line.
That's good move for him not to settle for the pull-up jumper to add to only the 5 points that Marikina has had in this fourth quarter. Remember, they only scored 11 in the third, and here's Marcy Arellano taking off the defense of Gayosa for the score.
Alfred Gayosa trying to provide the spark para sa Marikina, down by 14 here. They had such a big lead entering halftime, 44-30. Quezon City just turning it around ever since that Marcy Arellano led huddle before they went to their locker room. It's not every day that you get to see that type of scene from one whole team talking to each other before halftime. Mel Mabigan, that guy, he was the one responsible for providing the energy for QC in the third.
Interso giving up a foul here on Marcy Arellano. Thankfully for them, it's not going to be a shooting foul. So baseline inbound ang mangyayari dito para sa QC.
Marcy looking for a teammate. It ends up with Mpbl. What a perfect play.
Mendoza caught behind that basketball, was man watching Jerick Mpbl, but Mpbl already had good position to receive the leather and finished.
Here's Marcy Arellano. Again, great pass. This time to Kyle Lapis.
And that's assist number 14 for the former UE Red Warrior.
Big time double-double for Marcy Arellano. Make that 15 heavy. 11 points and 15 assists for Marcy Arellano. He has surely set the tone for Quezon City in this game. 4 minutes and 27. 12 on the shot clock. Arellano puts it up and in.
Marcy Arellano, a master of that. He's gonna back down and fake a handoff and then drive to the basket, finding an opening for a hoop. Arellano, just great all-around performance.
What a turnaround for Quezon City. Down by 14 at halftime. Now they're up by 18 with 4.5 minutes remaining.
Kapag may labay nagkakaisa, Luzon, Visaya.
Triple-double watch for Marcy Arellano. 13.7 rebounds and 15 assists. He's about to make history if he gets 3 more rebounds with 4 minutes and 20 remaining. The last guy to have a triple-double in the Mpbl was Mike Ayon back in 2019. Basket here para sa Marikina. They trimmed the lead down to 16, 18 to 64. Marcy again, the feed to Mabigat. Just off with that angle.
One of the rare miscues sa laro na to para kay Marcy Arellano, who has been playing well above his averages in this one. Only averaging close to 14 minutes per game, but now up to almost 25 minutes in this one. Also just averaging 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists per game.
Oh,
right
beautiful
now,
execution right there for QC.
just a great game para kay Marcy and for QC.
Kyle Tolentino looking to answer back. He has been silenced in the second half. Forward pass. That's another assist for Arellano. 2 points for Mel Mabigat. Marcy Arellano also got a rebound, so he's 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. Time is running out here for Marikina. Quezon City, they still have the momentum. And Marcy Arellano is on a roll for QC. Tolentino will fire. And suddenly, Tolentino's career game has been silenced. Deep neutral by this performance of Marcy Arellano.
What an anticlimactic finish in this Mpbl season. If this is to be the last game of Kyle Tolentino, could have been an interesting showdown numbers wise as well in terms of performance para dito kay Kyle Tolentino and Marcy Arellano. But what happened was Kyle Tolentino took the first half and Marcy Arellano just dominated this second half.
What a performance. Majestic display of skill. And what also will go down as one of the best games in terms of dishing out the basketball. Arellano is up to 16 assists. Basket right there by Gayosa. 2.5 minutes remaining. Mpbl bringing down the basketball. Triple team. Dangerous situation. And there's a foul.
And that's going to mean 2 free throws because Marikina already above the limit.
One can only wonder if the whole Quezon City team knows about that triple-double watch of Marcy Arellano. 2 rebounds away.
I'm not even sure if he knows that himself.
He's still on the court. Wong is about to check in for QC. Just don't know who he's going to do it for. Lead is 17 points. Jeric Mpbl, by the way, he also played a very excellent game. 13 points and 12 rebounds. And you just saw and felt the energy come from him. Getting those offensive boards and the putbacks for QC.
Definitely much better performance in this game para sa kanya. 7 points and 6 rebounds lamang in that game against Gensan.
It seems like Marcy's backing off on the defensive end and looking for those rebounds. So I think he knows about that triple-double watch as Wong is being hounded by Karurukan. Out of bounds. Bola ng Marikina, down by 18.
Outcome looking too bleak already here para sa Shoemasters.
Marcy
with that miss.
9th rebound for him. 1 more. And he will get the first triple-double in the Mpbl after 3 years. Tolentino, tough shot. And there it is. Marcy Arellano with his 10th rebound, a triple-double.
Wow.
13 points, 10 rebounds, 16 assists. 3-point shot going in para kay Karurukan. So we're just waiting for the final score here with 84 seconds remaining. What a display para kay Marcy Arellano, turning things around in the second half as Wong misses from 3. All right, Javi, I have to ask you this. Give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts about this triple-double performance?
Well, we said it in the first half, Migs. When he was on the floor, Quezon City's offense was flowing beautifully. And this endgame stat line for him is only a testament to the way that he orchestrated the offense beautifully for his squad in this game. So great job for Marcy Arellano, and what a way for him to get his team the victory, getting a triple-double for himself.
Quezon City securing their second win of the season. Also Denzel Wong getting his first bucket here in the Mpbl. He's trying to defeat 2 defenders of Marikina. He surely is the crowd favorite for QC.
Just 43.1 seconds remaining in this game. And Marikina still on that losing streak. This is going to be the 6th loss for them consecutively.
Denzel Wong making free throws as if he was in the finals. But Quezon City just really happy for him. 91-77. Great performances across the board. Levy De La Cruz, Jeric Nakpil, Mel Mabigat. And we haven't even mentioned Marcy Arellano as Kyle Tolentino increases his career high to 28 points.
Oh, salvaging any pride that he has left. So si Kyle Tolentino, still an amazing performance by this young man in this game.
Kyle Tolentino playing a tough defense against Oliver de Guzman right in front of his father. And remember, Mika talked about Kyle na he gets those conversations inside, their car, during their dinners, their lunches. You can only imagine the conversation that he's gonna have with his father. But then again, it's still a career day for him, 28 points as he plays his final game before departing to the PBA D-League. On the other end, Coach Alvin Gray now getting a breather. Well deserved, as Denzel Wong is owning the court at this point. He's piling up points. Second free throw is a miss. He gets the ball back. 30 seconds remaining here as he's being hounded by Marikina. Sazon, catch and fire. That's a miss. Nakpil with another board. He's up to 13 rebounds in this game. Big double-double, 14 points and 13 rebounds for Jeric Nakpil. And this is gonna do it, folks. 8 seconds to go as Wong will burn down that clock. Kyle Napes and Quezon City getting their second win of the season to upset the career high of Kyle Tolentino, 28 points. The story of this ball game is one guy, Marcy Arellano, setting the first triple-double of the Mpbl since Mike Ion in 2019. Arellano with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 17 assists.
Also the highest assist total this season garnered by Marcy Arellano. What a way for him to get this kind of stat line and a victory for his squad. James Martinez struggled mightily in this game. Who would have thought that it would be another former UE Red Warrior who would take over, not just scoring the points, but distributing the ball very well para sa kanyang koponan.
And one thing you won't see in that marvelous stat line of 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 17 assists is that leadership that he displayed, especially at the end of the second quarter when they were down by 14 points entering halftime. Marcy Arellano called his teammates to huddle at the middle of the court so they can talk things out before proceeding to the locker room. And there he finishes with that big-time triple-double here in the Mpbl. Kasama siya ngayon ni Mika Abisamis.
Salamat. Kasama ko nga ngayon ang best player of this ball game na si Marcy Arellano. Marcy, alam mo kanina sa dugout, sabi mo sa akin, you just want to take it slow. Gusto mo lang maging guide sa mga mas batang players. Parang wala naman ako nakitang slow dito ngayon. In fact, first triple-double of the season and first triple-double in a long time.
Medyo masama lang yung talo namin last game. Siyempre gusto lang namin bumawi this game. Siyempre ayaw naman namin na matalo kami ng ganun. Kaya lumaban, nag-usap-usap kami ng halftime na kailangan manalo kami this game.
Gusto ko lang malaman, nung towards the end of the fourth quarter, alam mo na ba na dadating ka sa triple-double?
Hindi. May nagsabi, kahit sila Com Kenneth, sinasabi sa akin 2 rebound na lang. So, sinabi ko na sa mga teammates ko, bumax out para kukunin ko na yung rebound. Well, nakuha ko naman. So, hindi naman credit din sa mga kampi ko, sa coach ko, si Coach Johan, sa mga coaches na nagtsatsaga sa amin na i-ensayo kami, i-condition kami. So, talagang malaki pa salamat sa mga kasama ko na tulong-tulong kami in this game.
At dahil dyan, pwede mo batiin lahat ng gusto mong batiin ngayon.
Of course, gusto kong magpasalamat kay Lord. Binigay sa amin yung panalo. Family ko nanonood ngayon. Mga anak ko, si Karina, si Cassie, si Terdy. Family ko, dad ko sa Ilocos, mami ko sa La Union. Happy birthday kay mami, kay Boss John Galuad, sa kay mga sponsors namin. Of course, si Gov Dennis Pineda, Vice Gov Nanay Lilia Pineda, Coach Alan Trinidad sa pag-accommodate sa amin dito sa Pampanga. Mr. Albert Arcilia, Ms. Lou Buena ng MG Philippines, and Mr. Joey Abina, Chicasa Sportswear, Pimentel Realty, who else? Siyempre, sa supporters na mga families namin, si Pops Ray Ripalda, sa lahat ng mga support ng nakukuha namin sa Quezon City. Maraming salamat.
Okay, congratulations. Well-deserved. Nagbabalik sa inyo, Migs, Javi.
Thank you, Mika. Marcy Arellano, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 17 assists, 3 steals, 6 out of 7 from the field, 1 out of 1 from downtown. A perfect game from the leader of Quezon City. Tomorrow, for the very first time in Mpbl history, we will be in Palayan City, Nueva Ecija for Makati versus Bacoor, Pampanga versus Caloocan, and the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards protecting their home court for the very first time against Laguna. Again, we congratulate the Manila Stars for today in their victory over Muntinlupa. In the second game, Imus fell down against a very strong San Juan Knight squad. And then here in our third game, history was made. The first triple-double since 2019, Marcy Arellano for Quezon City as they defeat their opponents in the Marikina Shoe Masters. In behalf of my partner, Javi Balanya, our courtside reporter, Mika Abisamis, my name is Migs Gomez. Kita-kits bukas sa Nueva Ecija. Ito po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Mpbl